Good evening, world. Welcome to Jew's Word. Appreciate y'all tapping in. I appreciate y'all supporting all y'all love. Episode 31 tonight. Death brings wisdom. That's the topic of tonight. Death brings wisdom. And I know I had a live last week and we talked about grief. That episode was about grief. The emotions, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically. Everything you go through when dealing with grief, when losing someone who's made a big impact on your life, who's made a positive footprint on your life. And it's really detrimental because you have to find a way to deal with your grief because everybody deals with it different. For me, it may be going for a walk in the park. Somebody else, it might be traveling. Somebody else, it might be playing the game. Somebody else might be shopping. The goal is to do everything that makes you peaceful, makes you happy. All of your hobbies, partake in every last one of them. Just set a day aside for every one of them. But this episode is about the wisdom that comes after death, after you experience grief, after the dust settles. What exactly was your family or your loved one trying to teach you? The wisdom that they dropped in your spirit for life. Things that'll set you up so you won't make the same mistakes they did. Or giving you their blueprint or their mindset when they made that strive to make a different path for themselves despite of what everything says the path we're supposed to go on. Because everybody who goes to college, it's not meant for everybody. Everybody's life is different. But you never really appreciate the full dynamic or see the full dynamic of someone until after they die. And that was a thought. Funny how we appreciate people more when they're gone. You don't ever really get the full dynamic of a person until after death. At their funeral, they give the eulogy. All the people that are outside of the realm of parent, child, or nephew, auntie, or grandchild, grandma, whatever the dynamic of your family is of the person that you lost. The lessons and the wisdom that were given to you has a timestamp from God. And it takes effect as soon as they pass away. That's how the wisdom falls. So the wisdom falls on you, and God basically has a mandate on you to pick up the torch, or pick up the baton, whatever you want, whatever analogy you want to use, and carry it. So, for example, when you know better, you do better, right? So if they're giving you wisdom, and you haven't had to use it yet, but when they die, okay, that clears the place for you to go. So you can basically pick up the baton and carry the torch. Generational curses are real. Bad mantras, good mantras. Everything is subjective. Everything we learn from my parents, it can be true and it can be false. Two things can be right at the same time. Two things can be wrong at the same time. Everything in life is so subjective. We have to take a step back from the smoke and mirrors, take a look at the whole picture overall. That's what we have to do. So with that being said, just take time to understand. That's the time. When your loved one dies and the grief you go through, you're going to have to let the dust settle and sit there and think and pray and get close to God to see what he's trying to show you, or what your family's trying to tell you. So some of us accept the mission and some of us run from it. When you die and that wisdom is passed along, when they die and that wisdom they've given you throughout their life and it falls on you, it's up to you to carry that wisdom. It ain't just for you to hold it. You have to use it. Like they say, if you don't use it, you lose it. Yes, that applies to everything. Yes, the wisdom too. A lot of times we don't even realize that when you don't accept the mission, that's why a lot of us go through so much stuff. Because of the people we're around, the places we go, the things we indulge in. So with that being said, with all that going on, all of this stuff is on you heavy. So God is basically trying to get your attention. Like, hey, I need you to come over here, take a step away from the outside noise. I need you to isolate. I'm trying to show you something. Something you're going to need on your journey, what I have for you. But it comes down to it, we got to accept what God said about us also. We got to be in that realm to receive that message. Because we can miss the mark just like that. That's why meditation and prayer is so important, to ask God to make it plain, make it simple. Lord, make it simple where I can understand. Even my 4-year-old son understand. Like, help me not miss the mark. And you being passionate about not missing the mark, that's how life goes. I mean, we missed the mark before. I've missed the mark before in a lot of things, a lot of reactions. Like I said, every action deserves a reaction. For the things you say, the things that you do, the way you carry yourself, the way you think about yourself, all of that stuff plays a part in walking into your full potential. It plays a part. Different. But what I was saying was, God chases the one He loves. That's why things get so hard when you're not walking in your purpose. When God calls you to do something or to be something different, you can't just blend in with everybody else. God has ordained you to be different with His calling on your life. And you see that the lineage of God has been through your whole lineage, and you have to step up, stand on 10 toes, and just deal with it. You're going to lose people. People are going to be in and out of your life. It don't mean that they're bad. It don't mean that they're good. But sometimes the person that you want there, God may not have a place for them in the next level. It may not be meant for them to go to the next level. And just because it's not, that doesn't mean that they're not, they're a horrible person or God doesn't love them. No, that's not what that means. We have to really break outside of our box. And it took a time for me to learn that. It was a long time. I had to learn that. We have to understand that we got to basically stay solid, stay focused on God no matter what's going on around us. Like you say, for example, when Peter got off the boat, right? He said, if you God, let me come to you, right? So he got off the boat. Storm going around crazy. Boat getting tossed. They got dang on swagging and surfing in the boat. They beefing it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's just the fact of the matter is when he kept his eyes on God, and he was able to walk on water, right? So God wants us to apply that principle to our life as a whole. Make sure that we have our foundation set by making sure we are grounded spiritually. That's the only thing we have in this world to hold on to. So if we grounded spiritually, we stay focused on Him, He'll remove all the obstacles out of our path. That's the gift. Like, even with that story of Peter in the Bible, like, he started to sink. Why? Because he took his eyes off the prize. He took his eyes off God, right? So with him doing that, look at how we dropped the ball so many times. How many times we just took our eyes off the prize and we be doing good and we just start gradually sinking. We like, what we doing wrong? What we doing? Check your faith. Check your surroundings. Check anything that's around you that's not of God. Always check that, please. Protecting your peace, protecting your energy, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, that is the key. Your spirit is like divine Wi-Fi. You cannot let everybody hook up to it. You cannot. Even if you want them to be in your life. God might not have a plan for them to be in your life. He has your life predestined. So we really have to understand that. And sometimes the wisdom after death, it takes isolation to gain all of that wisdom. You got to get by yourself. Get in your safe spot, wherever your peaceful spot is, most peaceful spot in your house, your shower, your car going for a ride late at night, whatever you need to do. Get into a peaceful place, focus on God, do the things that help you lock in and tap into a whole nother level. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's never easy. This whole process of grief and understanding death and being spiritually grounded to where you can basically mentally, spiritually, and emotionally hear God and hear what He has to say to you, what He wants you to do, how He wants you to move. So I wrote this down. That first bulletin I wrote down, the second one, I've said it before, but I wrote it down just to make sure that I say everything that I want to say, y'all. So I have had a few deaths in my life. I have. So it's my grandmother, my dad, my auntie, my uncle also. So with those deaths, it's wisdom from all of it. So the part that they played in my life, how they affected my life, how they was a part of the foundation of me being the man I am today. When that person, when they gone, it's like everything that you felt is like, okay, it's heavy. Presence is heavy. Your emotions, everything is going crazy. But when we deal with our grief, like I said, the steps I gave you guys, deal with your grief. Going for a walk, praying, working out, playing the game, working on the car. Whatever it is, go outside the hoop. Like whatever it is to your peaceful place, for you to gain knowledge and to be in a peaceful and happy place where you just so joyous, no interruptions. Once you do that, you're going to have to understand that your mind is going to be pushing. Your soul is really not your mind, it's really your soul. Your soul going to be pushing for you to really open up your mind to go to the next level, to understand, okay, what did I learn from this person? My dad taught me, be like a duck in the rain, Jew. Never let them see you sweat, no matter what's going on. So with that being said, when my dad taught me that, basically all thing he was telling me was, no matter how hard life gets, stay solid. Stay 10 toes, no matter what's going on. Keep doing what you got to do. Don't never let them see you sweat. Don't never let nobody see you broke. Don't never let nobody see you down. And that's subjective too. But it's the intent in which he meant it. So I learned that from him. That was my mentality, part of my foundation. It was definitely part of my foundation. And I really look back and I think about my dad. And I think about the wisdom I learned from him, from his death. I used to always tell my dad, I want to be like you. He said, no, I want you to be better than me, Jew. And I can't be mad about that answer, like, I want you to be better than me. And so, even with God, even with Jesus, Yahweh, Yahshua, whatever name you want to address him by, when those moments happen, when those moments happen, when they really hit you, and it's like, dang, you really start analyzing your parent, your experience with them after you know what you know now. You go back to look at what you didn't know then, and you analyze, man, my dad was very quiet. He was very peaceful. He didn't say much. He smiled no matter what the situation was. He laughed everything off and kept going. And I have, like, really acquired those attributes because I really laugh at everything, for real, though. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I laugh at everything. I don't, man, listen. I just smile no matter how serious it is. I just keep on going like, yeah. But, that's life. That's life. Life be lifing. Life is gonna life. What the Bible said, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. He said it wouldn't prosper, but he never said it wouldn't form. It's gonna form, but that don't mean it's gonna prosper. So the things we go through in life, that's the weapon forming. It only prospers if you allow it to prosper. If you allow it to prosper. So you're not deaf. If you're not acquiring that wisdom and you're applying it to your life to better yourself, then that's the weapon prospering right there. That's just what it is. If you're not trying to put forth the effort to do things that make you uncomfortable, to get outside of your norm, like I said, break outside of your parameters of what the world, society, your family painted for you. Yes. Everybody might not have had a bad raising. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is even though the parameters they put around you, God is beyond all of that. God is unlimited. He's omnipotent. So whatever your dreams is, whatever your visions is, whatever you can't go to sleep at night because you're thinking about it, do it. Do it. Why not? Build on yourself. Invest in yourself. Why not? So y'all, my next bulletin, and I really took a deep dive into this when I went down the tunnel with this one for real, because my grandmother, she was very, very wise. My grandmother was the first black teacher integrated in Princeton school systems in Birmingham, Alabama. History making, a lot of history in my lineage. She always taught me, Jew, stick with God and he'll stick with you. My grandmama always taught me that. Jew, you stick with God and he'll stick with you. And then you think about that phrase. You stick with God, he'll stick with you. No matter what's going on, never lose your faith. No matter what's going on, still trust God. No matter what happens, always know that God has the best interest for you. Always, no matter what's happening. The devil meant it for our bad, and Jesus turned it for our good, right? Think about the book of Job. Think about Job's story. He was the wealthiest man in the Bible. He was like a billionaire back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like he had that bread. He had that bag and that bread, baby. He was caked up. Yeah, he was caked up. But in the Bible, Satan showed up walking to and fro. And Satan was like, I'm trying to get into something, basically. And God was like, have you considered my most faithful servant, which is Job? So he was on top of the world. everything. Most faithful servant. He was successful and a man of God. Nowadays, it might show that, oh, you got to sell your soul. No, God got it for you. It's for you. But God allowed him to test him. Made him lose everything. Kids died, everything. Lost everything. But the thing about it is, the moral of that story is no matter what's going on, your faith is going to get tested. It is. Your faith is always going to get tested. No matter where you are in life, no matter what facet, no matter what walk you in, no matter what job you work, whether you are an executive or you a janitor, whether you work at the gas station or you work in the White House. God has no respect for a person. So what that means is what's good for the goose is good for the gander. You know what I'm saying? It's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. I might go through something, but shoot, the person up there on top of their head that's rich going through something too. Everybody got their own spiritual dark desires that they have to deal with. Because that really what leads us. Not the devil. But we give him too much credit. But y'all ain't ready to have that conversation. Y'all ain't ready to have that conversation. I'll tap on that on another episode. But yeah, my grandmother taught me that, yes. Stick with God and he'll stick with you. Maintain your faith. Maintain your trust in God. Do the things you need to do to pour into it. Because what it says, study to show thyself approved. That don't mean you have to read the Bible. You can read the Bible. You can read several books that point you into the spirituality in a sense of mentally, spiritually, emotionally, understanding how to handle certain things and how to walk with God, how to talk. Because God made us whole, light and darkness, and he said we was good. So you can look at your flaws, look at your imperfections. God saw all of that when he made you. All the hairs on your head. Even if you got a doggone lazy eye, he gave you that too. It was a purpose for that too. I'm just saying, God, he makes no mistakes. He's perfect, omnipotent, right? He's being real. But with that being said, never lose your faith. Everything has a purpose. Everything is predestined. I don't believe in luck. I don't believe in black magic. I don't believe in voodoo. I don't believe in none of that stuff. I don't. Because our mind is the most powerful thing in the world. If you think it, you can achieve it, right? So if you're thinking about something negative, and you're always negative, what you think gonna happen? You're gonna start moving it. Your life is gonna shine in a negative light. So that's why it's always be careful. Speak life, not death. Watch how you walk, watch how you talk, watch how you breathe, watch how you carry yourself, watch how you speak to people. Even the most smallest negative thought, the most dangerous, like some stuff that's just outlandish that you know that ain't even with you, but it's a dark thought in the back of your head. Even with that, be careful with that. Because that could change the trajectory of your life also. Definitely can. So watch how you walk, watch how you talk, watch how you breathe, watch how you think. It's power in the tongue. Our mind is so powerful. You think it, you can achieve it, I promise you. And so, my Aunt Prudence, I went to LA like 4 weeks ago to bury my aunt. And I got to see my family and another trailblazer in my lineage. One of the first 20 black women to make it through the LAPD Academy. Back then in 1969, they were called police women. They weren't called policemen. They were just called police women. So for her having that achievement, that's another beautiful thing that I learned. And like I said, you don't know the full dynamic of a person until they pass. You don't understand how much you appreciate them more after they pass because you just see that fullness of the self. You see the ups, the downs, the good, the bad, like from a child all the way up. Their story, their autobiography. So I was sitting there, listen to everybody come up and talk. She inspired so much. And my aunt, she is literally the GOAT. I ain't gonna need much cap. My auntie the GOAT. She's the GOAT. And one thing that I took out of everything was when my cousin got up there, he was like, how he played football. And he felt like that wasn't for him. And so my aunt told him, I need you to find, it's your responsibility to find what your purpose is. So with that being said, it's our job to find out what our purpose is. What's our purpose in life? What is it? what does God put on our life? Everybody has a special task in this world. Everybody has something. God has something for everybody because he knew all of us when we was in our mother's womb, right? So it's a purpose for everybody's life. Don't let nobody make you feel like you're not worthy or you don't feel like, you know what I'm saying, like you just lowest scum. Like, don't let nobody feel like that. Because they just projecting their insecurities and they things that they failed in life on you. So I want to throw that in there too. But just the fact that she was able to open that safe space for him to come to her and say, I don't know what my purpose is in life. I don't know if football is for me. I don't know if I want to play football anymore. So with that being said, she gave him that safe space to avenue to discover his talent and what he wanted to do. And just her saying that, she told him it's your job to commit to your dreams and commit to your purpose. So with her saying that, she was already thinking outside the box. Her moving from Birmingham to LA because things weren't working right here. So she went there, started a whole new career, brand new opportunity. Sometimes we have to do that. A lot of times we can't stay in the place that where we once came from because you never honored in a home. I mean, in your home amongst people that you've known your whole life. All they're going to think about is how you used to be. It's been real life. That's why when you get a chance to leave and explore life, man, go and travel, enjoy life. Move to another state, move to another city. Like, enjoy. Don't be so concreted and cemented down in one location, man. Because y'all see Jesus left Jerusalem. He wasn't in Jerusalem no more. He got up out of there. Yeah. He got up out of there. Right, because he wasn't honored at home in Jerusalem. Jesus went. His own people killed him. They crucified him. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? The ultimate betrayal. Like, for real. But my aunt was a trailblazer. She lived life with she understood that there is no life without risk. Every day is a risk. You wake up in the morning, walk down the steps, is a risk. You could fall and break your neck. You could not wake up. You could drown in a tub. You could not come back home from work. I mean, you see what I'm saying? Life is a risk everywhere you go. You could choke on some chicken, choke on the breakfast. I mean, you get what I'm saying. Like, for real. Like, y'all get what I'm saying. Everything in life is a risk. So why not take a risk? You risk it every day when you wake up. You can risk it to invest in yourself. Why not invest in yourself? You have everything to gain, nothing to lose. That was what my aunt taught. And even with that, don't be scared to be a trailblazer. Don't be scared to be different than the in crowd. Set your own path. What God got for you, everybody ain't going to understand. And I say that so much. I know y'all be tired of me saying it on my reels. But y'all journey is not going to be perfectly made for your best friends, for your parents, your significant other, whoever, to understand, because it's your vision. God gave it to you. If he wanted them to know about your vision, he would have gave it to them too. But, and if he do give a vision, then that means that that's your soulmate. If y'all got the same vision and y'all kind of parallel and y'all adjacent, you know, we're going to talk about that later too. We're going to talk about soulmates later too. That's another topic. But, yeah, your journey is not going to make sense to the next person. It's not. So why worry about what people say? Why worry about what they think? Why worry about their opinion? Because like one of my favorite quarterbacks in the NFL says is, I had a purpose before anyone had an opinion. Shout out to Jalen Hurts for that real true man of God. Oh yeah. And that, you think about that phrase when he said that, I had a purpose before anyone had an opinion. So the purpose in your life and what God is calling you to do, you can't worry about their opinion they developed about you. Even if you did good things, bad, because everybody did something they ain't meant to do. I ain't gonna say meant to do, but things that they're not proud of. So love yourself. Love your flaws. I love mine, but I'm working on them to improve them also. I'm not telling you to love your flaws and just not work on them and make an improvement on yourself. I ain't saying that. But a lot of times, you got to take a step back and look at the whole picture. Step back from the smoke and mirrors and look at the panoramic picture. Everything is subjective. Everybody is raised different. Everybody has different mantras. Everybody has different constructs. Everybody's thought process might be different. a phrase that you and your friends say, and y'all think it's funny because it don't mean nothing to y'all, but somebody across the tracks, it might mean something to them, or somebody across the country. You never know. Different words have different meanings. You have to go all the way back to the origin of the word to understand real things. And I encourage everybody to do that. Even the words we use today, go back to the origin, the original intent. Because everything been changed and everything. We ain't gonna talk about that, but anyway. But what I'm saying is, yeah, like, take the time to get to know yourself. When you go through stuff, you change. Those 3 deaths that I just named to you guys, my dad, my grandmother, my auntie, it just really just shows that they made a big impact on my life in a positive way. Yeah, I might not understand as a child everything that happens and why everything happened, but the thing about it is the things that I need to acquire, I acquired. You sit there, you observe, you don't absorb. That's what everything in life when it comes to lessons. Observe, but don't absorb. Observing is when you go through stuff and you gain the knowledge, you understand the situation and the experience of that situation. Absorbing is when you stay there too long and you should have left. So now you absorbing it. Now it's affecting your soul. It's affecting you as a person. I've done that before, even when I was married. Yeah. 6 years. Yeah. Everything happens for a reason. Everything that occurred in my life happened for a reason that pushed me to the person that I am today, the man I am today. And I'm so thankful for it. Because I've been in bad situations, but Kyrie Deshaun Parker and Julius R. Parker IV, a.k.a. Drewski, that's the end all be all of every bad situation I've been in. Them two, them situations, hey, thank God. I love my boys. I wipe the nose about them kids. I wipe the nose about them kids on everything. What? Right, be like Mario. Alright. But I said all that to say, guys, God loves you. And it's so much world and so much thing to experience in life. Because your different places have different experiences. You may experience a barbecue like this in Alabama, but you go to LA, the barbecue is totally different. A whole different aura, whole different vibe, whole different everything. I'm just using that as an example. But everything in life, even the people in different regions, you get wisdom from different people. You get the vibe. You see their mindset. Coming from a Birmingham going to like a LA, or coming from Birmingham going to like a New York or a Miami or a Houston, Texas, or a Dallas, Texas, or Las Vegas. Like each region and each city and each state has a different mindset. But you have to tap in. There's nothing wrong with experiencing different mindsets, but you just have to take the important information from all of those experiences you have and apply it to your life where it's going to benefit you. Because when I go look at something, what might work for me might not work for you. It might not. But everybody has to experience themselves. That's why I don't understand why people judge people. People talk bad about people. Like I said in the Bible, what they say? Before you put the wood out of my eye, put the wood out of your eye, right? Sweep in front of your front porch before you sweep over my front porch. Because my whole thing is life is too short. If you so busy worried about what somebody else got going on and you downing them, dogging them out, then I need you to pour into yourself, because that means that you have some insecurities you got to work on. You definitely got some. Because I'm not going to spend no time hating on nobody. I don't care what nobody got going on. I got to worry about what you got going on. You know what I'm saying? So the amount of time that you pour into doing everything else that's not beneficial to you, your family, your walk, your purpose, the things you want to achieve, your dreams, then what are you doing? What are we doing? If we pour into anything besides ourselves or our kids or our significant other or our parents, our circle, that's down with us no matter what, that we can ride, we can grind, we can get this money, we can enjoy life. If you're not trying to do that, then you need to find something else to do with your life. I'm just saying, that's what we all should be focused on. Because there's so much going on in the world. Guys, we really need to really focus and pay attention to get closer to God and see what he has to say. And understand the mission of what you're supposed to be doing. Because he's the one way, the truth, and the light, and the key. The beginning and the end, the Alpha and Omega, for real. So we really got to get our life together. If you ain't at no table, you talking about businesses, you ain't talking about money, you're not talking about elevation, ascension, quantum leaping, shifting, all of that stuff, man. You trying to get to a better version of yourself, a future version of yourself, man. Listen, you might need to go back to the drawing board to reevaluate your life, because you behind the 8 ball right now, big dog, on everything. For real. Yes. It's really time consuming, because we've all felt like, dang, we've wasted so much time. And you think about it. That's why I say appreciate the people who's been in your life before they pass. Give them their flowers. Get closer to them. Ask them questions that they didn't think you would ask. Like, try to tap into their wisdom. Whatever you want to do, ask them, do they know anything about it? Because the baby boomers, the elderly, they have a lot of wisdom. I love talking to elderly people, because elderly people has the most wisdom. They've experienced all generations. So they've seen things that we haven't seen. You see what I'm saying? So they was here before us. So they experienced so much life before us. So they can really give us the knowledge and the wisdom of how to move. So that's why I said death brings wisdom. You should learn something from the deaths of your family. You should learn something from the deaths of your grandparents, your great-grandparents, or your lineage. Or even if it's friends. Because you can get an impact from somebody that's not even blood. Because blood don't make you related. It don't. Blood does not make you related. It does not. God picked your family out, whether they're good, whether they messed up, whatever they got going on, God gave you that family. But also he used that as an example. He used that as an example to see, hey, this is what I'm trying to prevent you from going through, but this is the steps I need you to take, because with the generations of your parents, your great-grandparents, your grandparents, and your parents, whatever they didn't complete what God put on their life, it's going to fall on you. And guess what? You got to carry that weight. You got to carry that weight. I'm going to speak for myself. I know I got about 3 generations to carry. But my dad and my granddad and them, and my great-granddad, boy, they were light-skinned with brown eyes and long hair. Jesus Christ. All that didn't fell on me. So I got to deal with it. I have to sort it out. I have to carry that torch. Not just from my granddad, my great-granddad, and my dad, but also my grandmother and my auntie. The wisdom they gave me, that's responsibility that's been placed on me by God. And that's even for people who out there who also lost parents and their life has changed and everything is different now. Man, those deals really changed me for real though. Those deals really changed me. So not only are you fighting generational curses, you trying to set a new path and trailblaze and set an example for your kids off of what didn't completely happen in the correct way you feel like it should have happened. Or what God feel like it should have happened in your life being raised. So somebody got to break that trend. Is it going to be you? When that wisdom come to you and you start feeling indifferent and you're not interested in the things you once was interested in, you don't want to do the things that you once wanted to do, you don't want to do none of that stuff anymore, that's God shifting your spirit. Your spirituality is changing. You're growing spiritually. So you're outgrowing places. So it's uncomfortable. It's hard. It's not easy. But that's the time where you're supposed to never forget where you came from, because once you look back, dang, I went through a lot. I ain't trying to go back there. Let me keep on going forward. Let me keep on pushing. That's why I said, man, listen. I'm all for anybody who's working on themselves, pouring into themselves. Wisdom comes in so many different ways from your family. Whether it's mantras, whether it's cooking, whether it's just a mindset, whether it's just a structure of how everything was ran. Wisdom comes in so many different ways and forms. But it's up to you to get closer to God, to get quiet, to really hear what he's trying to show you. Because God been on me. He been on me. He definitely been on me. Man, he been on me. But I'm going to keep on pushing though. And I advise everybody to keep on pushing too. That's why I say when I make my commercials, hey, if you want to take this journey with me, tap in. Y'all ain't got to be scared to tap in. Tap in. We have a conversation. There's no judgment zone over here. It's going to be raw. It's going to be truthful. It's going to be no holding back. We're going to have uncomfortable conversations, things that people don't talk about. Because after all those deals, guess what? I still got to have that conversation with my family about how to handle arrangements when it's their time. Still got to have them conversations. And those conversations are not easy because you don't be in the mind space to have them. But you have to do what you have to do. It's better to be prepared. Where they say you rather need it and not have it and not need it. I think I said that backwards. Yeah, you rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Yeah, there you go. I got it right that time. But yeah, that applies to everything in life. Just like spades, you study wrong, you study long, you study wrong. I'm telling you, we all need to take account for the things we need to improve on in ourselves. I said all that to say this. The wisdom from family members that died, the thought process, the mindset is very good to get close to elderly people to understand all the knowledge and the wisdom that they have and they carry. Love your loved ones while they're here. Give them their all while they're here. Like any type of drama, beef, family drama, and all of that stuff, man, cut all of that, man. Life too short. You still holding on something for 30 years ago, you the problem. Because that means God give you grace every day. God gives us grace every day. Every time we fall short. But we can't get nobody grace because we mad at them because they did some low down stuff. But we do low down stuff to God every day. But y'all don't want to have that conversation. Ain't nobody got to know, but God see everything. That's all I'm saying. But when you really take account, take time to think about that. Get up in the morning, walk through your house while the kids sleep, before you go to work, while you drinking your coffee in the morning, and meditate. Get close to God. Ask God, Lord, help me see what you need me to see. Be my eyes and my ears. Make my head wise. Make my tongue still, Lord. Contain my complaint, because God don't like nobody complaining. He went through hell for us, so it make us think we're not going to go through hell for him. That's kind of stupid. Yes, I mean, that's what it is. Get your meditation life right. Do things that you never did, that you never thought that you want to do. Like, pick up a book and read it. Something that's influential to you, that you feel like that you need to work on. Something you got questions about. It's in a book. Just read it. I've been on this reading journey. Man, I got like 30,000 books I got to read. Man, listen. I thought I was going to read this weekend. Them boys said, no, Daddy, let's play. I was going to try to read, but no, I couldn't get away to read. But, you know, it's a beautiful thing that when you have family, when you have lineage, when you understand the importance of family and unison and cultivation and a tribe and a community, because they say it takes a village to raise a child, right? That's what they say. It takes a village to raise a child. So think about the village. My grandmother, my auntie, my dad, my mom, my nana, my village. Those are the villages that you have to raise, that you get the information from, the wisdom, so when they die, you can apply it to your life. You can hit the ground running. Man, I'm telling you, because once you understand really the true meaning of life, and I think that it's been really distorted, you really see the true meaning of life. You get quiet, you isolate, you get to yourself to hear what God has for you, because you have to deal with your emotions. Sometimes, yeah, you can talk to somebody, but shoot, ain't no counselor better than talking to God himself. It's being real. If you're going to give you some of that psychology, may not be able to give you. But I'm not saying it's not for everybody, but, you know, it's not for everybody, but, you know, I was one that didn't go to counseling, because I felt like, Lord, you my counselor. You my therapist. You have everything I need. I don't want to receive no lies from man-made stuff, people that added in and watered that. Lord, I want it straight from the root. I'm trying to be attached to the vine, baby. But yeah, that's a very good point though too. That's a very good point. I think that we definitely need to work on ourselves. At this time and how everything's going on in life, people dying every day. Man, focus on yourself. Take care of your kids. Do things that you dreamed of doing in a million years, what people in your family and society said that you couldn't do. Do that. Bet on yourself. Bet on yourself. Why not? Why not bet on yourself? What do you have to lose but everything to gain? Man, listen. It's been amazing. It's really been amazing, this journey. It's been amazing. It's been hard. It's been very difficult. Very, very difficult. And it's been challenging. More so spiritually than anything. The things I used to want to do, I don't want to do no more. Places I used to want to go, I don't want to go no more. Like, I'd be so peaceful by myself, like, God really has isolated me after all this going on in my family and stuff. But everybody might not understand. I'm gonna be 100 with you though, for real though. Everybody might not understand your journey. That's why I said that. Everybody might not understand. They may feel like you acting funny. They may feel like you mad at them. They may feel like a lot of things, but it takes people to understand that, hey, who this person was before all of this happened, if they were solid with you then, they will be solid with you now. No matter if it's meant for you to be there or not. It's getting closer to God, moving how he wants you to move, thinking how he wants you to think. He's going to change you. He's going to shift your whole world upside down. He's going to shift it. Because, think about it. When we come up in the world, we raised out of, they give us our name, they give us a number, they tell us what success is, they tell us how to think, how not to think, what's reality, what's fake. That ain't real. Stop daydreaming. Listen, let me tell y'all something. Do y'all know that manifestation as an adult ain't nothing but imagination as a child? Y'all don't want to hear that conversation. Your imagination as a child, it grows into your manifestation as an adult because you use your imagination to manifest things in life. So you really been manifesting since you was a child. When you was imagining that little stick looking like a Hot Wheel. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what that is. But yeah, y'all ain't ready for that conversation either. We'll talk about that later too, y'all. But yes, watch how you think, watch how you walk, watch how you speak, watch how you carry yourself, watch how you breathe. Those things can affect you more than even saying anything at all. A lot of times that we don't realize that we honestly are our worst enemy. Because we run from the things that God put in place for us. But, when you don't know better, you don't know. But once you find out and you still choose to not do what's been shown to you, then that's when God chases you. Like he said, he chases the ones he loves. So I appreciate y'all, man. That's all I have for tonight, y'all. Closing message I have for you guys. Love, live, life. Love, live, life. And laugh. Unapologetically. Be unapologetically you. Be your full self. That'll be different. You don't have to blend in with the crowd. Just because they don't like it, don't mean you ain't got to like it just to fit in with them. They don't like it, oh well. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of, this whole world has imposter syndrome nowadays because I've suffered from it. Being a people pleaser, XYZ, 1, 2, 3, You don't want to shake the room. You know the truth, but you going to hold it because you don't want them to be upset. So you just kind of like, yeah, I ain't going to even must say nothing, big dog. You know what I'm saying? No, you're not doing it. Speak your truth. Live your truth. Your truth might not be my truth. But just because you say your truth don't mean it's a bad thing. We weaponize so many things nowadays, man. Everything has been weaponized. Tears, tear ducts, a man saying how he feel, your imagination, manifestation, all of that, everything is so weaponized. Dare to be different, be you, stand on your own. That's all I got to say for y'all, man. But thank y'all. I appreciate y'all tapping in. Y'all come back. Check out more content. Facebook page, Julius Parker III. Other Facebook page, Jew's Word. Check out my IG, Jew_Caesar. Eccentric.sauce. Check out my TikTok, Jew_Caesar. Check out my Snapchat, Jew_Caesar. Check out my YouTube. Follow, share, subscribe, y'all. Let's go. Let's get it. Y'all want to take a journey with your boy? Come on. But that handle for YouTube is Julius Parker III at Jew's Word. That's my handle. So I pray that this bless somebody out there tonight. It's been a very, very long journey. I've been doing this since January 11th, 2025. And we're already in October. Man, it'll be a year soon, man. So I'm not stopping. I got a lot of content coming. I got more stuff, more projects coming along. Like I said, y'all tap in, follow your boy. Check out the journey. I be vlogging. You know what I'm saying? Full-time dad, part-time worker, full-time entrepreneur, full-time son of God, man of God, flaws and all. Jesus loved me. He said I was good. Y'all have a blessed morning, all right? Y'all be safe. Get some rest. God bless y'all.